Hi friends, it's Friday, Facebook Live Friday, and I'm Melissa Costello from Karma Chow. I'm a transformational eating coach and holistic nutritionist, and I'm here on Facebook Live Friday because I love sharing information with you and just giving you some tools and tips and adding to your toolbox every week so that you can find freedom with food. I've struggled for a long time and I finally have come out the other side. So today our big topic is about control and how to let go of control so that you can actually experience freedom with food. So I'm super excited to share today some awesome tips I have for you and just to talk about the idea of control and what that really means and why we feel like we need to be in control and then why we feel like we're out of control with food. Because oftentimes what happens is that when my clients come to me, they tend to tell me that they feel out of control with food, but food's also a way that they feel in control. So it's like this weird double-edged sword, and they don't know really how to break out of it. So if you're live on here with me, I'd love for you to say hi in the comment section. Hello, everyone out there. I'm super happy you're here. Anyway, so the thing that I've learned about control is that it robs us of our joy. It's something that keeps us really stuck, and it's an illusion because if you think about it, we really don't have control over anything. I mean, we can make choices in the moment for ourselves and what's going to serve us the best. And that is really something that we have freedom to do that, to make a choice in the moment about what's going to serve us. And hi, Laura. But, you know, control is something that really keeps us stuck, thinking we need to have control. And it's often something that we start to do at a very young age when we are protecting ourselves, it's kind of a defense mechanism we pick up. So the reason that I needed to feel like I was in control in my life was because I grew up in a very out of control household. My father was an alcoholic, and Lord knows from moment to moment what was going to happen in the house. He was very abusive. He was a rageaholic. He would throw us out of the house on a whim. And, you know, I mean, this is all stuff that I've had to look at and deal with in terms of why I needed to have the feeling of so much control in my life. And I realized and recognized that it was because everything was out of control in my life, or it felt out of control. Anything that was going on around me just felt completely out of control. So for me, what I did was I took food as my source of feeling in control. Like I would control my food and restrict it and just had this relationship with it that was not healthy. And it was the only thing that gave me a sense of safety. It was like I had this one thing that I could always rely on. Food was always there. I could always trust it. It wasn't going to turn its back on me. And so that really gave me some sort of sense of safety. And what I learned is that that relationship with food kept me stuck in a really vicious cycle. And there was no way that I could experience a sense of freedom when I felt like I had to control everything with my food. And then when I would get out of control with food, it's like my whole world was coming out from underneath of me. So it had so much power over me, and it really did rob my life of joy. I was not living my life. And, you know, it was just something that I struggled with, and that I really felt like if I don't overcome this and if I don't find a different way to be with myself with all of this, I'm going to continue to suffer and stay stuck in my food prison. And, you know, when I do strategy sessions with people who become coaching clients, you know, one of the things that I talk about with them is their rules and restrictions around food. And one of my strategies that I use in my coaching is around allowing yourself to eat what you want. And when I tell people that, and there's a lot more to it, but when I tell people that, they say, oh my God, I'm going to get out of control. Like, I'm afraid I will get out of control, I'll spin down a rabbit hole, and I'll gain, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever that scary number is for them. That's what they fear. But the truth is they're already stuck in this place with food, and they're already doing that anyway. They're already out of control with food. And they're struggling with it and fighting with it. So it just doesn't feel good. And, it's a strategy that really works. And there is a lot more to that. And, it's something that's a part of my upcoming Food Freedom Group program, which starts on February 6th, that I'm super excited about. And it's something that we go into detail around, and that we really learn how to trust ourselves, because control is really about not trusting ourselves. Remember how I said we have choice? Well, a lot of times we don't know how to make choice because we don't trust ourselves to make a choice. So when we feel like we have to have control over everything, it's because we're not trusting ourselves. And we build self-trust through making mistakes. We build self-trust through failing. We build self-trust through learning from our failures and learning from our mistakes. And I always say there are no mistakes, but we have to use some sort of terminology and verbiage for it, right? So, if we look at our lives in terms of self-growth and how can we learn from the things that we do, there really are no mistakes, because if we're learning from things that we do, that's just helping us to grow. And this whole idea of needing to be in control just really stops us short of living our lives fully. And yesterday I was on a strategy session with someone, and she was sharing so vulnerably with me. And she said, I feel like for the last 20 years, I've just given up and I haven't been living my life. And it was after she got divorced and she went into a depression. And for 20 years, she's been doing the same thing. And she's been struggling and with all her food stuff, and she's just lost this sense of herself. But what she does is she tries to control her environment around her and tries to control like every little thing. And she's not allowing herself to live. So this whole idea of control is something that I invite you and encourage you to start to look at the areas of your life where you feel like you need to be in control of everything. So I was a complete control freak growing up, not only with my food, but with my environment, with everything around me. I mean, I'm a cook and I'm a chef. And when I was in the kitchen, if anyone was in the kitchen with me, touching anything, oh my gosh, I would freak out because I had to have it all under control. And I remember being in the kitchen, this was quite a long time ago, probably it was a turning point for me, because I was in the kitchen with a friend, and we were cooking together, and he did something and I was like, don't do it that way. And he said to me, he was like, God, you have to control everything. And when he said that in that moment, it just really woke me up to how much I need to control everything, and that it's like, it's so destructive to me and my relationships and my life. And it was a huge moment for me, because it actually started to help me unwind all of that stuff and really become so much more aware and mindful of the moments when I was trying to control everything. So as you go throughout your day, start to really pay attention and notice, like, where do you want to control everything? Where do you judge others because they're out of alignment with what you think that they should be doing, or with what you believe in? Because even our beliefs are a sort of type of control in a way. And it's so important for us to be open and to be allowing and to be accepting of where things are. And, when we're controlling things, we're not in the flow of life. We're stopping the flow of life. We're cutting it off. We're saying, I don't trust you. I don't trust myself. So I need to control everything and keep myself in this little teeny tiny box. And that's really what control is. It's being stuck in a box. So I have just a couple notes I want to look down here, which I already said everything on my notes. But when we get into that sense of feeling out of control, we have a lot of judgment around that. Like, I'm weak, I'm a failure, I'm not able to do this. Whatever those conversations are, we get into our head around that when we feel like we're spinning out of control. And when you feel like you're spinning out of control, one really important key thing here is to actually look at what's around you, bring yourself present to what's really happening. And what I often say to myself is, nothing is happening right now, because the spinning out of control is so internal. It's something that is happening inside me, not around me. And it's a state. And so what I do is I often stop and I was like, nothing's happening here. Everything's okay. What's the next step that I can take that's going to feel good for me, that's going to nourish me, that's going to re-engage me with what's happening right now, versus me getting stuck in this idea of control, because the control creates a lot of anxiety. It's sourced in a lot of future thinking, that we have to control everything that happens, that we have to have a plan and it has to go perfectly, that whenever we start a diet that we have to do it perfectly. There's no gray area. It's all very black and white. So that's what I have to share today about control. My upcoming Food Freedom Group program is a 12-week group program, and I go so in depth into all of these behaviors around food and how to really break out of them, shift your mindset, shift your belief systems, and it's really powerful. And one of my recent participants just wrote me an email. She finished the program with me about a couple months ago, and I'm starting a new round. And she wrote me an email and told me, she said she was so excited because she lost 52 pounds. And she has not dieted at all. Through my program, she learned how to relate to food differently, stop depriving herself, stop binging. I mean, this is someone who binged all the time, weighed herself every single day. And one of the things I had her do when we started the program was throw her scale away. That's one of the things I do in my coaching. And if that scares you, then that means you're ready to get some other help, because when we get stuck in this cycle of dieting, weighing ourselves, measuring our food, restricting our food, there's no freedom. That's the control. We lose living. And so my Food Freedom Group program starts in February. And if you want to learn more about it, I'm offering some free strategy sessions to learn more about it. And you can set that up with me on my website at karmachow.com/consultation. And I'm offering some free strategy sessions. I have just a few spots left in the group, and I'm really handpicking the people I want in the group, because I want people who are really ready for it and who are really committed to making that bigger change for themselves. And I'm so excited to start the group. And if you're interested in it and you want to learn more about it with no obligation, you can set up a time to talk to me about it and just learn about it, learn what it entails, how we'll be working together, and how you'll work with the group. And it's just a really powerful resource to make a change and to really break out of this whole idea of control. So again, go to karmachow.com/consultation, and you can set up a time to talk with me about it and just ask questions. What's there to lose? Nothing. And it's a free session. And I always take advantage of stuff like that when I know that I can talk to a coach for free and that I'll be getting some really great information. So catch me here next Friday, live 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I always have a different topic. And if you ever want me to talk about a specific topic, or you have questions, just email me, missy@karmachow.com. I always love to hear from my tribe. And I'm happy to answer any of your questions personally. And I always so appreciate everyone joining me. So have a happy rest of your Friday. Have a great, fantastic weekend. And remember, start to let go of control a little bit and let things flow and trust yourself. Have a great one. Peace.